Okay, just a quick one today. I just wanted to show you a couple of things I've flushed out my Bakin Pack with here. I'm just about ready to post it, but I just wanted to show a couple of things. So first I'm just going to zoom in here and show you the rocks that I've made. So I've made a dark gray rock in that style, a sandstone rock in that style. Now these have all been shrank down. They come in just a little bit bigger than this, probably half as big again. I just wanted to show them to you. Then over here, I've got just a gray rock. And then over here, I've got a moss covered rock with a bunch of chunks sticking out of it. It's kind of hard to see it from this angle, but I'll go into the engine in a second and just show you. There we go. You can kind of see here some of the sticking out from under the rock. This would be one, you know, kind of maybe in the riverbed, sitting up balanced on another rock that's got some green growing out of it, or underneath of a tree. So I've given it a bit of a flat surface, right? But again, you could change and stretch these to however you want. Now you may notice on this lighter one here, that this is just a little bit blocky. I was having an issue in Blender where I couldn't, the pattern was getting some weird banding. I might even be able to show you here. I can't really, since I turned on normal maps, I don't see it. But without normal maps on, if you just imported these and used them in map mode, you would see some weird artifacting where the triangulation and reducing the decimation of the quads from the sculpted rocks seem to really cause grief at around the 1500 mark. So I've had to cut these down to around 500 to 300 depending on the rock for the not vertexes, not triangles, darn, I'm missing the word. But the other thing, before you triangulate the quadra whatever, anyway, so there's about double that in triangles, so it's about 1200 to 1400 triangles in each one of these models. Now the problem is you can see that they turned out pretty good, some of these, right? They look good. You get a little bit of shaping, just fine. They're rocks. Rocks have angular edges to them. I would have liked them a little bit more detailed, though, a little bit more smoother, but I was getting that bad. So you can't just use map mode. You have to actually use, let me exit out of here, go into resources, and I'm just going to show you this. So if I go to, we'll go to this one. This one's the most obvious. Go to Gray Rock 1. So if I go to this and I change this to map mode, hit OK, then come in here, and you can see now maybe you can't, let me test play it and see. Should be able to see now. It doesn't quite look as good. So it doesn't have that depth to it. Whereas if I enable a normal map. And on some surfaces, like this one here, it's more obvious than others. The squares come out, whereas the normal map adjusts that. So you're going to want to definitely do normal mapping, and I'll show you where to do that. So you just go into the resources for the object. So here's the object. I'm in the materials out, so you go into the materials for it, find the material. There's the texture, it's in map mode. Just change that to A and N, and then it'll have that normal map. Hit OK, and there it just got some more detail. There's a screen refresh, you can see it, and you've got all these little pock marks and stuff in here. It just makes for a much nicer rock. So do that on all of them. You can also change the pattern. So I'm going to go into the sandstone one to give you a good idea. So I'm going to come here to the sandstone. And I'm going to go, instead of X1 and 1, I'm going to turn this just to 3 and 3. Now you can see that that's actually really improved that pattern in there. There's some of the artifacting I was talking about right there. right where my mouse cursor is. So what used to be, just going to move this rock, is I would come from this position all the way around, and then have some weird seams where those edges met up. Now I've only got one or two of them on the object. So, but these scale up nicely. I'm just going to show you how this scales up without any issues. Oh, yeah, I'm changing the rock shape there. I made it very flat. Bring that out. Bring that way out. And then bring that down. And now we'll move that back over. You can see now, sorry about the chunkiness, but now that's a different rock. It used to look exactly like this one. Now it's a completely different rock. In fact, I can change that even more. And that's not even rotating, that's just scaling, and now you've got a completely different rock. So you've got lots you can, sorry, let me select over here. Lots you can play around with on these to get some really neat looks. So I'm giving you those four rocks here to add to the other three that I had already created in Bakin Pack 3. So you have this in Bakin Pack 4. But I've also added these roads, and basically what these are is that you can have a single trail coming through the forest land, or you can have like a double cart road here. Just jump in and show you that. We'll wander over here. You can see how that would be the two wagon wheels following the shape of the road. Now the problem in this is that because these are, I'm using these as a tile set path, they're a really sharp curve because you've got to do it in one tile. I mean, you could build 3 or 4 different tiles and really make a gradual curve that cuts through several of them. But I just wanted to give you something, you know, quick and dirty. This one is not really about paths or roads or anything, but I wanted to make sure to include some as terrain tiles. So that's a 7 extra terrain tiles in there just to give you this. I'm thinking you'd use it more like a path, like a single walk path, or along the bank of the river or something, right? Like this one's along the bank of the river, you know. Just something extra in case you want to use it. It's not really a high value item. It's just kind of good enough to give you something. I'm sure that you'll have better tiles or overlay models, or even some of the cobblestone that comes in the original Bakin Pack, or not Bakin Pack, in the small game builder RGP developer Bakin stock assets. They have some pretty good road overlays and things. And I've also got some other ones in my different Bakin Packs. So for instance, you could come in here and you could go, let's just go to Bakin Pack 3. We'll close Bakin Pack 4. What have I got in here? Terrains. Bakin Pack 2. Pack 3. What have I got? I got the road, actual highway road. That's a path. I don't have my Bakin Pack 2 stuff loaded in here, so I can't really show you. But yeah, sorry, can't show you that. But that's all right. You get the idea. Anyway, you can use a bunch of different things in here and lay them all out. I'm sure I had more than that in here. Huh. Weird. I must have unloaded them when I was working with other stuff. Anyway, not a big deal, but you get the gist. So yeah, so there's some rocks, and there is 4 different rocks that you could scale and use as needed, of 2 different rock sets. just remember to add those normals to them, and then I've added in some extra tiles here for you, just to put some roads or trails in if you need them. But that's all I really wanted to show you today. Sorry for being a little discombobulated in it, just doing this quick without any rehearsal or anything like that. So have a good day. See you in the next one.